Seven.
Over here.
Seven.
Seven.
Over here.
Look here.
Seven.
Look here.
Seven. Look here.
Seven over here.
Seven.
Over here. Seven.
Smile.
People love to say the truth will set you free, but when it comes to Hollywood, sometimes the truth shows up fashionably late. From fake accents to stolen stories to resume padding that would make a college freshman blush, some stars can't resist playing fast and loose with reality. I'm Seven McAllister for 7 Entertainment. Let's take a look at 7 celebrities who were busted lying, and it wrecked their careers. Now, before we get into that, we appreciate your support, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and give a sweet little nudge to that notification bell. Number 1, Grammy Grift. Might as well start with the biggest one, right? This is, of course, Milli Vanilli, or as they're better known, the poster child for pop music's greatest magic trick gone wrong. Rob and Fab started around the late 80s with the braids, the biker shorts, and smooth dance moves, racking up hits like Girl You Know It's True. Only problem, title was a cruel joke, because no, girl, it was not true. They weren't singing a damn note. Whole thing was cooked up by producer Frank Farian, the same guy who built Boney M. He decided Fab and Rob had the look, but not the pipes, so he hired actual vocalists to record the songs and shove the 2 models in front of cameras to mime. And for a while, it worked. I mean, really worked. We're talking Grammy-winning, chart-topping, MTV-dominating levels of success. Sorry, MTV used to play music. They were musicians, or they were pretending to be musicians. Then came the legendary train wreck at a live show in 1989. The vocal track started skipping, Girl You Know It's, Girl You Know It's, Girl You Know It's, like a cursed CD. The jig was up. Industry tried to play cleanup, but by 1990, the truth was out. Fab and Rob hadn't sung a note on the record that had just won them the Best New Artist Grammy. Cue the first and only time in the history that the Recording Academy actually revoked an award. The scandal tanked their careers overnight. Behind the scenes, Farian slithered away to keep producing while Fab and Rob were left holding the bag. It's a cautionary tale. In pop, you can fake a lot of things, but you can't fake it forever. Number 2, Not So 9/11. Some celebrities embellish their resumes with harmless little fibs like, I could juggle, I totally studied at Juilliard, no, that's definitely my real hair. Steve Rannazzisi, on the other hand, decided to go nuclear and invent an entire survival story about escaping the Twin Towers on 9/11. For years, the lead actor told interviewers he was working at Merrill Lynch in the South Tower, that he narrowly escaped, and that the life-changing brush with death made him pursue comedy. Stirring stuff, honestly hits right in the feels, except for the tiny detail that Merrill Lynch didn't even have an office in the World Trade Center. Oops. When the New York Times exposed the lie in 2015, Rannazzisi admitted he'd made the whole thing up, calling it a terrible mistake and apologizing. But it's hard to walk back a decade-long falsehood about one of the most painful tragedies in American history. Fans felt duped, critics eviscerated him, and suddenly his name was less funny guy from the league and more comedian who pretended to survive 9/11. Comedy Central still aired a stand-up special that year, proving Hollywood isn't completely allergic to scandal, but his career momentum hit a brick wall. Rannazzisi went from being the lovable sidekick in a cult favorite sitcom to an industry punchline, and no amount of oops, my bad could put that genie back in the bottle. In the end, his story did change his life, just not in the inspirational way he had originally scripted. Number 3, Bad News. Brian Williams was once the face of trust in American news, the guy who could tell you the world was ending and you'd calmly put the kettle on. But then he told a whopper. Williams claimed that during the Iraq War in 2003, his helicopter had been hit by enemy fire. Problem, it had not. He was in a different chopper, safe and sound, while another aircraft actually took the hit. For years, he dined out on the story until soldiers who were actually there finally said, yeah, that's not how it happened, bro. When the truth finally came out in 2015, Williams went from NBC's Golden Boy to a public punching bag. The network suspended him for 6 months, stripped him of his anchor chair on NBC Nightly News, and basically shoved him down to MSNBC as a consolation prize. His credibility, arguably the most important currency for a news anchor, evaporated overnight. It wasn't just about lying, it was about lying in a way that disrespected veterans and capitalized on a war story that wasn't his to tell. Now, to his credit, Williams made something of a comeback at MSNBC with the 11th Hour, but the shine never returned. The whole saga was a reminder that in an age where people are already skeptical of the media, you really can't afford to get caught playing make-believe, especially not when the people who are actually in the line of fire are around to fact-check you. Number 4. Out of Sync. In 2004, Ashlee Simpson learned the hard way that live TV is unforgiving and the internet is forever. She was booked on Saturday Night Live to perform her hit Pieces of Me, but when the band struck up for her second song, disaster hit. The vocals for Pieces of Me started blaring again, while Ashlee just kind of stood there, very much not singing. Cue the world's most awkward hoedown shuffle. Yes, instead of powering through, Ashlee panicked, did a little jig that made Elaine Bennis look like a ballerina, and then bolted off stage. The moment instantly became comedy fodder as the band played for a bit before they cut to commercial. America didn't just see the strings on the puppet, the strings got tangled, snapped, and wrapped around her neck. Ashlee blamed acid reflux for needing a backing track. Her dad insisted it was the band's fault, and the internet collectively screamed, "Girl, we saw your mouth not move." While she did try to recover, showing up on TRL to apologize and putting up more music, the stain never really washed out. In a pre-TikTok, pre-autotune saturated era, lip sync on an SNL was considered the end of her singing career. Her older sister Jessica was still riding high on the Newlyweds wave, but Ashlee, she became a punchline. And while today's pop stars can get away with more obvious fakery, I'm looking at you, pre-recorded vocals at the Super Bowl, Ashlee Simpson remains the cautionary tale. If you're gonna lip sync, please, pretty please, don't hoe down your way through the evidence. Number 5, Control-C, Control-V. Shia LaBeouf, talented actor, performance artist, thankfully not the next Indiana Jones, but also professional copy and paste artist. In 2013, LaBeouf released a short film called HowardCantor.com. For a hot second, the world applauded his innovative storytelling. Then someone actually watched it closely and realized, oh, it was a ripoff of Daniel Klaus's comic, Justin M. Damiano. Nothing says original genius quite like basically photocopying someone else's work. When called out, LaBeouf did what any modern celebrity would do. He apologized, sort of, except his apology itself was plagiarized because why stop at one crime when you can make it a double feature? Twitter and the internet collectively lost their minds. Memes were born, headlines screamed, and the joke was on LaBeouf, who suddenly went from avant-garde artist to that guy who literally stole art and then stole his apology. The story didn't fade away either. Daniel Klaus's legal team got involved, and LaBeouf's stunt became a cautionary tale in film schools everywhere. Don't rip people off, or your career might end up as a punchline in a snarky BuzzFeed list or, some crappy YouTube video. Number 6, Birthday Bash. Every now and then, daytime TV gives us a gift so awkward, so delicious, so chef's kiss that it deserves to live forever in meme form. In this corner, we have Ellen DeGeneres, the patron saint of being kind, and her opponent, Dakota Johnson, wielding that Nepo baby don't mess with me swagger. And it was during this exchange where Johnson handed us one of the greatest celebrity callouts of all time. Happened in 2019 on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Ellen kicked off the interview with a cutesy jab saying, "You didn't invite me to your birthday party." Classic talk show banner, right? Haha, wrong. Dakota didn't blink before delivering the line, "Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited." Ooh. Somewhere a record scratch played and a producer fainted. Ellen, clearly rattled, tried to wriggle her way out of it, mumbling something about being out of town, but the damage was done. In that one moment, Dakota Johnson shattered the illusion of Ellen as the always jolly, totally in the know queen of daytime. Suddenly, Ellen looked less like a fun aunt and more like the guest who would RSVP maybe and then pretended they never got the invite. Now, honestly, it's really kind of stupid. Like, who cares if Ellen DeGeneres was invited to a party and she didn't go to and then brought it up? I mean, what's the big deal? But apparently, this hinted at bigger problems. The clip resurfaced with a vengeance in 2020 when Ellen's carefully polished nice brand was unraveling under allegations of her toxic workplace. The Dakota exchange became the perfect symbol. Even before the floodgates opened, the cracks were showing, and to this day, if you want to see a celebrity politely roast a host alive, Dakota's "That's Not the Truth" is still undefeated. Number 7. Cucumber Fumble. For years, Alec Baldwin's wife Hilaria leaned hard into her supposed Spanish roots, slipping into an accent thicker than gazpacho, sprinkling Spanish phrases into interviews, and most infamously, pretending not to know what the English word for a cucumber was. Problem, Hilaria isn't from Mallorca, she's from Boston, like Red Sox, Dunkin' Donuts, drop your eyes, Boston. When Twitter sleuths finally put the receipts together in 2020, it was game over. People dug up her old classmates, childhood records, and even her name, Hillary. Suddenly, the glamorous bilingual yoga guru was exposed as a suburban Massachusetts girl who apparently decided that foreign and mysterious was a much better brand. The backlash was immediate and brutal. She was memed into oblivion, and the internet collectively rolled its eyes at the most bizarre case of identity cosplay since Rachel Dolezal. Consequences, Hilaria didn't exactly lose her job because yoga influencer isn't exactly a fireable position, but her credibility evaporated. Every time she posts, the comment section still roasts her like a rotisserie chicken, and Alec, never one to avoid adding fuel to the fire, only made things worse by angrily defending her. The end result, Hilaria is now more famous for the cucumber incident than anything she actually does. Fake accent might get you through a dinner party, but it's not going to get you through the internet. Well, there's our list, and I leave out any other celebrities whose lies got them in big trouble. If so, please leave them in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tippity tap that notification bell. Until next time, I'm Seven McAllister for 7 Entertainment saying bye-bye.